Hello students, welcome to the session. In this session, I would like to discuss assignment key dated on 16th July 2020. Students, we had been learning cell division from few days onwards. So, there is an assignment upon this. Let us discuss one by one the questions which are given in the question paper or in an assignment. First question in an assignment is here. Interface consisted of dash phases. What do you mean by interface? Already we have discussed. Let us see the phases, stages of interface. The interface consisted of, as you know very well, if we take the interface, let us see the interface. If you look at the interface, I want to give a clarity regarding the interface. The interface consisted of three major stages or three major phases. What are they? Let us see. Starts with the G1 phase and S phase and G2 phase. As you know, one more is there, that is M phase. So, about M phase we are going to discuss in the next coming classes. So, what do you mean by G1 phase? G means gap 1 phase. Gap 1 phase. What do you mean by S phase? Synthesis phase. What do you mean by S phase? The synthesis phase. What do you mean by G2 phase? The gap 2 phase. What do you mean by G2 phase? Gap 2 phase. So, like this, the three different phases are seen in interphase cell division. So, the correct answer is fourth one, all of the above. What are the different changes occurs in G1 phase? What are the different changes occurs in S phase? What are the different changes occurs in G2 phase? All these things we are going to discuss in the coming classes or next coming classes. As we have learnt already the importance of gap 1 phase, the importance of S phase, the importance of gap 2 phase. Here, gap 1 phase, what is the significance of gap 1 phase? Try to recollect. So, the answer is fourth one, all of the above. Next question, students, let us see what is next question. M phase consisted of dash phases. Mitotic phase or M phase consisted of dash phases. Let us see. Here, M phase consisted of the solution. I would like to write it on the board. Let us see. So, the M phase consisted of division of nucleus followed by cytoplasm, only division of cytoplasm followed by other cell organelles. So, here the M phase consisted of dash phases. The M phase consisted of here division of nucleus, scientifically called as karyokinesis. Division of nucleus, scientifically called as karyokinesis. Whereas division of cytoplasm or cytoskeleton is called as a cytokinesis. So, the answer is division of nucleus followed by the cytoplasm is considered as, here division of only nucleus is called as a karyokinesis and division of only cytoplasm is called as a cytokinesis. You know that karyology, a branch of science that deals with the nucleus. What do you mean by nucleus? The nucleus acts as a brain of the cell, isn't it? So, all the certain kind of functions in the cell regulated, monitored or gathered by a specific cell organelle called as a nucleus. So, nucleus performs certain kind of important functions, hence nucleus considered as brain of the cell. Division of nucleus during cell division is called as karyokinesis. Why? Because study of nucleus in Greek terminology is called as karyology. Division of nucleus is called as a karyokinesis. After that, After division of nucleus, what will happen? Cytoplasm undergoes for division. So division of cytoplasm is scientifically called as a cytokinesis. So the option 3 or third option is the correct or suitable option for this question. So M phase consisted of karyokinesis as well as the cytokinesis. Students, moving on to next question. Let us see the third question. What is third question? Why mitotic cell division is called equational cell division? What is the reason for why it called so? The mitotic cell division, why it called so equational cell division? You know that because of during mitotic cell phase, the parent cell at the same time daughter cells, they have equal number of chromosomes in each phase. Hence, it is considered as equational type of cell division. For that, for your better understanding, I would like to draw the diagram. Suppose take a zygote. You know that if you take a cell, just imagine it is a parent cell. Imagine it is a parent cell. So the parent cell undergoes for division. It undergoes for division. You know that during mitotic cell division, you can see the prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase type of stages, or telophase is the last subphase. Total together 4 phases are there. 4 stages are there in mitotic cell division. So while the cell is dividing, so at the end of the telophase, from our parent cell, we are getting 2 different cells. Okay. In the parent cell, the number of chromosomes, if you take the parent cell, the number of chromosomes are equal to the daughter cells that are forming at the end of the telophase. So, because of due to presence of equal number of chromosomes in parent cell as well as in daughter cells. This is first daughter cell, second daughter cell. Total together 2 daughter cells are forming at the end of the telophase in mitotic cell division. Due to presence of equal number of chromosomes. What do you mean by a chromosome? Let us see the definition for a chromosome. Let us learn the importance of a chromosome. A chromosome is considered as structural, functional and fundamental unit of the DNA. We know very well about a DNA. DNA has double helical structure, isn't it? From each strand of chromosome, generally it is a one of the best example for chromosome. So one of the special diagram or in front of electronic microscope, chromosomes are generally looks like this. Okay. So it is a double or paired chromosome structure. Okay na? So here they have 2 strands. If suppose take individual chromosomes generally looks like this. The center of the chromosome is called centromere. The branches of chromosome is called chromatids. What are they called? Chromatids. From these chromatids, during cell division, one strand of DNA comes out. So one fragment of DNA comes out. So 2 different fragments of DNA undergoes for helical process, replication process and forms one separate DNA molecule. Understood, Nana? So anyway, a chromosome is a important material that is seen in the nucleus or in the cell. So what is our correct answer? Because of due to presence of equal number of chromosomes, the mitotic cell division is called as equational type of cell division. Very simple. Next question, students. Moving on to next question. Fourth question. DNA replication takes place in dash phase. In which phase DNA replication generally takes place? As I said to you, because of replication only complete DNA structure appears in the cell during cell division. As you know that during S phase or synthesis phase, DNA replication takes place during synthesis phase. What do you mean by synthesis phase? It is also called S phase. During this S phase, DNA replication, complete DNA replication process takes place, which leads to formation of a single strand of DNA. Generally, it looks like this. So, the DNA molecule in the cell generally looks like this. Who discovered the DNA? Just try to recollect it. DNA was discovered by two major scientists. Try to recollect the scientists' names. Next, let us go for next question. Fifth question, students. Dash phase represents the interval between mitosis and initiation of DNA replication. Once again, dash phase represents the interval between mitosis and initiation of DNA replication. What is your correct answer? Generally, the gap 1 phase, we take a gap 1 phase considered as one of the phase which represent interval or small gap in between mitosis and initiation of DNA replication. As I said previously, DNA replication takes place inside the or in the phase called S phase. In which phase, Nana? In S phase, isn't it? Whereas mitosis phase, it occurs after the G2 phase. So, in between S phase and G2 phase, we can see the G1 phase. Hence, G1 phase is considered as interval between mitosis and initiation of DNA replication. Okay. Moving on to next question, students. Let us see the next question. Proteins useful for mitosis are synthesized in dash phase. Protein synthesis takes place in which of the following phase? As already we have seen, the protein synthesis takes place at gap 2 phase. What is G2 phase? The gap 2 phase. During gap 2 phase, generally protein synthesis takes place. Here, ribosomes are helpful for protein synthesis during gap 2 phase. With the help of ribosomes, in gap 2 phase, protein synthesis takes place. Amino acids are packed into proteins and a complete protein molecule formation takes place at gap 2 phase. So, what is your answer? Gap 2 phase is the correct answer. Next question, students. Let us see the next question. Dash phase is called as a resting phase. What do you mean by resting phase? Relaxation phase. Here, the interphase is called as a relaxation phase. Cell division properly will not occur during interphase. So, hence it is called as a resting phase. Interphase is called as a resting phase. So, next question, students. Moving on to next question. Quiescent stage is also called dash phase. What do you mean by a quiescent stage? Quiescent stage is also called G0 phase. What do you mean by G0 phase? Gap initial stage. Gap stage or the initial stage, the initial phase of interphase cell division is called as a G0 phase. During this phase, what are the common changes occurs? You might have learnt already. Let us see the answer. During quiescent stage, here, if suppose take heart cells, I want to take an example to explain G0 phase. Take the heart cells. Heart cells are generally developed or proliferation of heart cells or new cells formed during G0 phase in generally in quiescent stage. Whereas if you take the remaining cells, remaining cells occasionally they undergoes for proliferation. What do you mean by proliferation? How can you define proliferation? How can you define proliferation? Proliferation is nothing but formation of new cells is called as a proliferation. So here during quiescent stage only heart cells undergoes for proliferation process and produces new cells, whereas if you take the remaining cells like brain cells, kidney cells or muscle cells or bone cells, during quiescent stage they are undergoing for inactive state, which means due to lack of good nutrients or due to lack of energy or due to lack of nutrients, remaining body cells like kidney cells, blood cells, even heart cells, liver cells, they undergoes for inactive state. When they undergoes for inactive state, cell division is not possible. Hence, new cells or proliferation of new cells will not occur in the remaining body cells. Anyway, however, heart cells, they are specialized cells. They can divide at any circumstances, at any climatic conditions, at any resources. Even though if there are no resources, even though there is no sufficient amount of energy, the heart cells they undergoes for proliferation during G0 phase and produces new cells. Hence, here the G0 phase is also called as quiescent stage. So, small example I have taken to explain the quiescent stage. I hope so everybody understood, and this is the exciting assignment key. Remaining assignment keys in the coming days we are going to learn. Thank you. Have a brightful day.